Hi, I'm Dr. Pankaj Rawal from Impact for Interviews. We help you with your interview preparation, empowering you with requisite skills to ace it. Please check out our site impactfulinterviews.in. In this series, we bring you industry professionals from different industries and ask them what to look for in candidates during the interview. We help you understand the interview process better and enable you for an impactful interview performance. Today's session focuses on mechanical engineering students who want to build their career in manufacturing. We have with us Mr. Vijay Molasi, a senior manufacturing management professional with 30 plus years of experience with Indian and multinational companies in the area of manufacturing, engineering, and operations. Mr. Molasi is a mechanical engineer with operations management degree. He has worked with German, Japanese, and Indian multinationals. His area of expertise is manufacturing technologies, lean, industrial engineering, production management, etc. So here is Mr. Vijay Molasi. So welcome Mr. Vijay Molasi to our channel. We have just introduced you to our subscribers, our viewers, and welcome to our channel again. And as you know, this video is for candidates and this video is for students who are appearing for the interviews. So we just want to prepare them for their interview so that they do a better performance there. They know what is expected of them. And as you are from manufacturing and operations management field, so my first question to you is, what is your expectation from new recruits? People who are joining your industry, what is your expectation?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pankaj. Before I answer your question, let me thank you for inviting me for this important discussion. Basically, you have taken up a very crucial job of enlightening the youngsters on what is expected from them in an interview and how to prepare for it. See, many of the talented youngsters, they do not crack the interview just due to the lack of preparation and guidance. So I'm happy to be part of this informal discussion. So now regarding the expectation from the freshers, see, when I interact with the fresher, I try to gauge his technical knowledge, his enthusiasm level, his interest level, and the basic requirement from an engineering student is that he should be able to read a drawing, know various tolerances and drawing symbols, and he should know various engineering technologies, engineering systems, etc. See, it is said that drawing is the language of an engineer, so one should know its language. And today, the freshers do have experience in working on internship projects, and we gauge them on how they have performed in that. The candidate should be able to explain how engineering knowledge was used to complete the internship projects. So while the candidate explains the project, I get most of my clarity. Even regarding the enthusiasm.
So internship is very So internship is very important.
Very important because today almost all the colleges have the internship program for them, so that their theoretical knowledge is applied into the practical knowledge. So basically, we expect that the person should be able to explain it well.
So I'm again coming back to the same point that you think that internship is very important for these candidates and they should take it seriously.
True. That is true.
Oh, okay. And Mr. Molasi, what qualities you seek in candidates for your type of industry, for manufacturing industry? What type of qualities actually you seek in your candidates and the people who are coming from engineering colleges? So what are the main qualities? When you are taking interview, you look for?
Yeah. See, I work for auto component industry. I have altogether worked for auto component industry. So here we serve multiple customers for multiple products, and it is a very dynamic and demanding industry. And here, speed with accuracy is the key. We seek a person who exhibits command over the core technical knowledge and along with the core technical knowledge, we expect the program management skills, the emotional intelligence, which is crucial for working in a team. See, the technical skill is the basic requirement for qualifying into the industry, but team working skill is the requirement to sustain and grow in the industry. So we look
So
for these
even in
kind of
manufacturing,
qualities.
so even in
Sorry?
manufacturing, you mean to say that even in manufacturing industry, the team working is very important as per you.
Team working is very
Okay.
crucial because it is a manufacturing organization, and organization means there is a team who designs a product, who develops a product, who manufactures it on a daily basis, and the numbers are huge, and it is only through the team work this is possible. So team working is the most crucial skill required in a person.
Okay, so you mean to say that when a candidate comes to you for an interview, he should be or she should be ready with their examples that how they behaved in teamwork and how they worked in teamwork, and that is definitely going to impress you.
Exactly. And see, if they have team skills, then definitely they must have exhibited in their internship projects, and it cannot be faked. Once they explain with examples, we are able to make out whether they have really exhibited the team skills or not.
Wonderful. You mean they cannot fake it? You are able to judge them whether they are faking it or whether they have actually done that.
Yes. Through the body language, through the tone of their voice, we are able to understand how much true.
Fantastic. Wonderful. And Mr. Bolasi, we have heard that a candidate in first 3 to 5 minutes, the interviewer is able to judge a candidate. So what do you actually notice in first 3 to 5 minutes?
Okay. See, to be very frank, I generally avoid making first cut impressions. The people are from various backgrounds, and we really don't know unless and until we talk to them who they really are. So I avoid making the first cut impression. I normally in the first 3 minutes, 5 minutes, I try to settle down the candidate into the interview process so that he calms down and he is able to give his best, what he truly is. However, there are few things which make an interviewer feel that the candidate is not interested. For example, the person is avoiding the eye contact throughout the interview, or he is not even smiling. Even the whole interview, it makes an impression that the person is not interested in our industry or in the kind of job we are offering to him. But at the same time, there are certain things which are bound to give a positive impression, like dressing with formals, with basic hygiene. However, I try to focus on what the candidate explains and the way he explains.
You mean the first impressions are important, and the way of dressing and the way of the first 2-3 minutes when a candidate tries to impress, so these are important.
Surely. See, the thing is, you should not unnecessarily create an impression that you are not interested. So you need to be in the formals. You should look professional, and that you are really serious for what you have come here.
Right, very true. And normally we hear about that in all interviews. There are some very common interview questions. For example, tell me about yourself. What are your strengths? So, what are your common interview questions? Can you just tell us about your 5 common interview questions? What are your 5 interview questions?
Okay, to start with, tell us about yourself can be a general question. So normally when a person we shortlist for an interview, and I'm not only talking about the freshers in general, the resume has got certain information which matches to the requirement of that position, and sometimes it has more qualification than the position requires. Okay, so that becomes the area around which we build the question, so that we confirm whether these skills and the achievements are his achievement and skills. Because many a times what happens that the resume is just copy paste from some other person, and the person.
I have seen a lot of students do that. Yes. You are right.
Yeah,
I have seen many students do that, copy and paste. Yeah.
exactly. So they have they will write a lot of buzzwords, and then they really don't know what these words mean. And the person has shortlisted the candidate based on the skills, and then when he starts talking about those skills, the person is not able to explain, and then it becomes a disappointment. Okay, and then there is a lack of trust also is built at that time. So what to believe and what not to believe, that becomes a question.
Very
so this based thing is not something which is preferred here. And okay, so then there are certain questions which you can say are generic to understand whether the person can work in a team or whether he can take up a responsibility. For that, we ask open-ended questions. For example, the person has done a project, so we ask, how did you start and finish this project? So after he answers, we are able to understand about his planning skills, his analytical abilities, his execution skills. And during this, I also try to understand whether this person has a habit of working in isolation or he synergizes the other team member to finish the project. So these kind of things we try to understand. And another question is what problems you faced during the project and how you solved it. So it tells about his influencing skills, his problem solving skills, his conflict management skills. So these kind of open-ended questions we ask.
And yes, like you said that you asked, so you asked some questions. Then we have behavioral questions and we have situational questions. Like behavior questions actually are asked for the past behavior of the candidates. How did the candidate behave in the past during a particular situation? Because that can be a projection of what the candidate will behave in future, how the candidate will behave in future. So do you also ask behavioral questions?
Behavior is based on the situation. Under the pressure situation, how the person will behave. So we give a situation, and then we ask, for example, we'll ask in a project, what kind of problem you faced. Okay, so he has to tell the problem, and then he has to tell how he came out of the problem. So during that, the way he dealt with that problem explains about his behavior. So the situational questions give the reflection of the behavior as well. And sometimes what we do, some kind of situations we have in our organization, and we know that these kind of pressure situations are there. So what we give them that situation, and then we ask them, in this situation, what will you do? So although these people are fresh, and then we try to make simple situations for them, and then ask them what they will do. So these also give sometime what kind of behavior they will exhibit.
In fact, we teach students to come to actually think of these situations, because in interviews these will be asked. So if a student has or a candidate has manufactured or hypothetically produced a situation, are you able to distinguish it? Are you able to know it, that whether he is faking it or she is faking it?
See, now, for example, I have been working in manufacturing industry for more than 30 years. And see, with this experience, you are able to understand what the person is saying. There is a certain, experience you get that what he is telling, because you can ask 2-3 layered questions. One question, he has answered to one question. We can answer to why you did this, or why you think this is right, or why you think you could have done that. So if you have 2-3 cross questions, you will be able to understand.
You go deep into that.
Yeah, because you need to understand the thought process. Why some person does something. There is a thought process. If you understand the thought process, you will understand whether this is towards this sync with the team, or the ownership. Is this guy taking ownership? Or the various kind of traits come out. Everybody is unique, and the every role's requirement is also unique. So this is basically the marriage of the requirement versus the ability a person has.
Wonderful.
So these kind of questions are generic, but then the specific skills which a person has mentioned in the resume, and we want those skills in our company. So we ask questions around it, whether the skill is really there or not. So we give them the problems, or we give them a question. And see, engineering has a lot of maths. Okay, and most of the problems need mathematical solutions. Okay, so for example, how much capacities you have, how to calculate the cycle times, how to calculate the takt time. So there is a lot of engineering involved, mathematics involved in all the engineering problems. So we ask them questions, and then we understand do they really understand the logic behind it, and do they really have the answer. So the questions will be around the specific position we are hiring.
Great. And now there are students who are there in maybe final year, and they are preparing for their interviews. So what is your message for such students, or what is your message to students who have not got the job till now, and they are seeking for the jobs, and they are looking for the jobs, and they are going for the interviews, or maybe students who are in their final years, they are preparing for their interviews? What is your message for them?
Okay, so Dr. Pankaj, I have been interviewing engineering graduates for quite some time, and I know that today the course curriculums colleges have already modified to suit the industry requirement across India. So colleges have inbuilt a lot of internship during various years, and even the lot of courses are based on what industry requires, ready to push into the industry. So I suggest that the young graduates, they should understand well what they have mentioned in their resume from engineering point of view. Okay, like what material was selected in the project, why it was selected, which process was chosen, and why it was chosen, any failure they faced, and the engineering reason behind that failure, and what was the engineering solution. So this is an opportunity for them to show that they can put their knowledge into application. Okay, I know that it is not possible for a student to be best in each and every subject. However, whatever subject you are good at, you should be thorough in that. Okay, so if you say I'm good at material science, I'm good at engineering drawing, you should be very thorough in that. And if you intend to be working in manufacturing field, like I am a manufacturing professional, I suggest that these guys should focus on subjects like industrial engineering, manufacturing technology, material science, engineering drawing. At least these 3-4 subjects, they should be very, very thorough. And see, today manufacturing industries, they work on large production numbers, large workforces, and the management staff is also very, very huge across multiple states and even across different countries. And hence, in this fierce competition, the efficiency and creativity, it makes a lot of difference. So industry needs automation, and not only in the manufacturing process, but in the information system as well. So there is a strong need for knowing the international standards, IATF, ISO 14000, to ensure the first time right trouble-free production under the safe condition. So basically know your subjects well, and this is the basic requirement. And then if you can basically have certain knowledge on automation, robotics, and then the systems, IATF, etc., that also helps.
That is very helpful. And any key techniques you would suggest to clear interviews for these mechanical engineering, particularly students or students who want to get into production? That how should they prepare to do well in their interviews?
Okay, so see, from young freshers, we do not expect that they should be able to they should be giving solution to the industry problems. Okay, so what we expect is whatever internship projects they have done or whatever subjects they have studied, they should be able to tell in detail what is the engineering concept behind it, engineering fundamental behind it, and how they came to that solution, what kind of alternatives were there, and how they gauged all the alternatives and then zeroed into that kind of an alternative. So they should show that they are able to use the engineering fundamental into the practical solutions, and they have the ability to do that. So once they are able to exhibit the ability to show that they can use the theory into practical, then the interviewer also has a confidence. Yes, this guy has got the brains, this guy has got analytical ability, and then whenever a problem comes, he will be able to find a solution. So whatever you are presenting, you should be very, very thorough in that, and then a little bit cross questioning. You should be able to go a little bit one layer or two layer down. This is what is my suggestion.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So what I get from you is that students or candidates appearing for interview in manufacturing industry, so they should be, number one, very thorough with their subjects. Whatever they are producing in the resume, they should be very thorough with it, number one. Number two, they should have great team working skills. They should have they should produce something that they are very good in team working situations. And number three, they should have great problem solving skills, and they should produce something in front of the interviewer that they have great problem solving skills. So these three things are the most important critical things as per our discussion.
Yes.
And the fourth is emotional intelligence, which is very important. So these four things are very critical, which a candidate should display during the interview.
True.
Am I right? Am I able to?
Yes, you have perfectly summarized the whole discussion.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vijay Molasi. And I think that your suggestions, your views will definitely help the students and participants, and they will do very well in their interviews. They will prepare well, and they will do very well in their interviews. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot
Dr.
for joining
Pankaj,
us.
for the invitation. Thank you very much. I enjoyed the session. Thanks a lot.